In this video, we lose a war.
Leif, we lost.
We lose a war.
Leif, we lost.
I know, man. I know. And we lose a war.
Leif, we lost the war.
I get it, dude. I highly recommend you try out Arkheim Realms of War. It's free and really helps out the channel. The link to do that will be in the description. As always, there'll be a giveaway at the end of this video, so stick around for your chance to win 500 sapphires. Huge thank you to Travian Games for sponsoring this series of videos. It's been a really enjoyable experience, and I hope you enjoy the conclusion of our journey on Arkheim. If you recall, last time we found ourselves in a precarious situation. We were constantly fighting and on the brink of exhausting all of our reserves against stronger enemies that would launch attack after attack to ensure we couldn't get our footing. The main issue was that these realms had decided to take first and second for themselves and not fight one another, leaving us, on the outside, an easy pickings. We had hoped that the arrival of Acid Squad would change the balance of power and decided to attack army elites in one final attempt to change the outcome of the game. I need to take a moment to explain the endgame because in this fifth and final moon phase, the script gets flipped and everything changes. Take those skills you've been learning for the past few weeks and throw everything not related to war right out the window. The best analogy for the chaos that unfolds is imagine that you're in a room, blindfolded, with some other people who are similarly blindfolded. But it's actually a knife fight, last one standing wins. And the room is on fire and so are the knives and so are you. Now with that mental image in place, here are the general rules. You're at war with everyone at all times. This means no truces and no non-aggression pacts. Realms and islands are locked, so you can't ascend to another island or leave or join a realm at this point. Map features such as goblin barricades disappear, and the training grounds are locked. Different modifiers are applied, such as damage to structures like portals and towers being doubled. And most importantly, the eternal anvils begin to open. Each island has 4 eternal anvils that stagger their opening times. Should you be able to conquer and hold an eternal anvil, you'll get an eternal orb. Similar to how orbs are used for ascension, eternal orbs are used for eternal ascension. Each anvil is open for a period of 12 hours, but you can't use normal troops to defeat the demons that reside there. It's time for our old buddy Indentured Servitude to rear its head, because it's down to those fallen troops to save the day. Only difference is, if they fall in battle this time, they actually do get the sweet release of death. You can switch your warlords to fallen warlords and back. As the name suggests, your fallen warlords lead fallen troops, who have some nice bonuses such as ×5 speed to help with the general effort. If you're able to defeat the demons, you've successfully conquered the anvil. And now comes the hard part. You have to defend against all other realms on the island. Each second you hold the anvil, you generate eternal energy. The realm with the most eternal energy in that anvil gains an eternal orb. Oh, and if things weren't hard enough to plan, there's the added element that the closer to the closing deadline you hold the anvil, the more energy you get, enabling you to snipe orbs from opposing realms that have held it for longer, provided your maths is right. All of this means you need to be constantly aware of what your opponents are doing, as if you focus on the anvils too much, normal troops will storm through your land and take out your portals, which are crucial, and too little, your opponents will simply gather the 8 eternal orbs needed to ascend and win the game. If the endgame is akin to a flaming blindfolded knife fight, then in this analogy, the Silver Realms had both hands tied behind its back, as attack after attack shrank our borders. We did all that we could, but there comes a point where the numbers just aren't there. Combine that with our enemies having more total warlords than us, as it was a 2v1, and we're being outmaneuvered with resistance akin to spitting at an oncoming tide. Acid Squad had failed to mobilize how we'd hoped, seemingly content with taking third. This meant that first, second and third had already been decided, leaving us off of the podium. Ultimately, with Army Elite and Acid Squad loath to try and topple the giant that was ITF, we presented a much easier target, resulting in us being totally defeated, with every tower of ours being taken. Remember when I said way back in episode 1 that an arc cannot be destroyed? Well, in cases such as ours, where we controlled nothing on the map apart from our arc, a sort of forced relocation takes place, where we spawn in a different area. Looking at the map, we were just a lonely island in a sea of enemies, with all hope lost. The other realms satisfied with the pecking order and not willing to risk it for a chance at glory. The script had been written, and it was time for the story to play out. But that didn't mean that we had to play our role quietly. Like men in the golden age of piracy, we adopted a war against the world doctrine, where we launched attack after attack constantly against everyone, having been freed of the consequence that losses would result in. We particularly focused on Acid Squad, whom we felt had the ability to change the course of events with their large war potential, but chose the easy route. Inevitably, this resulted in relocation once more, at which point we launched more attacks, because once you lost everything, you have nothing really to lose after all. However, aside from generally annoying everyone, which was pretty fun, admittedly, there was nothing we could do to seriously impact the result. One by one, each realm ascended in their assigned order. ITF first, winning the entire season, then Army Elite, and Acid Squad after that, leaving us all alone on Island 4 and no one left to fight with the demons in order to ascend ourselves, with Silver Veils placing 4th this season. That would mean that I lost. Not really a fan of that. So what if I told you that you've been fooled this entire time? that, as a creative decision to make things more interesting, I focused on telling the story of a weaker realm instead of the dominant faction I've been a part of all along. That's right, dear viewer, as it turns out, I was actually a part of the winning team, ITF, to whom we proved invaluable owing to our top-notch gameplay. Silver Veils was merely a cover to tell a story, and now that it's over, I can reveal that we actually won this season with our buddies at ITF. I'm very pleased to announce that in the debut season of the social streamer's career with Arkheim Realms at War, we came out on top. You think they'll buy that one, Tom?
Nope.
Alright. Huge thank you to the Silver Veils realm for showing us the ropes and carrying us for week after week. In particular, the leaders of the realm, Neko and Solania, the latter of whom actually becoming a moderator on our Discord. We have one final giveaway to do, and so, for the last time, if you'd like to get your hands on 500 sapphires for your account, then be sure to write your in-game name in the comments below. Thanks once again to Travian Games for sponsoring this series of videos. It's been a lot of fun recording and editing this content, and I really do urge you to try out this game for yourselves. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.